Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday's show. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Hope everybody tuned into the show last night. Creepy Cuomo resigning from governor of New York. It was a good show. And are we glad that Cuomo is going to be getting out of office in just a short of 2 weeks? I'm glad. I think everybody's glad. A lot of corruption coming out of that office. But with that being said, guys, I just literally got back in the studio here. Literally just got back. Went on a little jogging trip with my homies, my jogging buddies, my partners in crime and exercise. Gotta love it, guys. I do a lot of jogging in my spare time here in the Atlanta area on the Beltline. If anybody lives in Atlanta, guys, you gotta check out the Beltline. It's an awesome set of trails, and I'm telling you what, guys, if you're into that stuff, it's literally expanding just about every day. Every day you see like little projects that are popping up everywhere in the city. They're constantly adding on the trails. They have trails in just about everywhere, every part of Atlanta. Whether you live on the north side, the east side, the west side, South Atlanta, even in parts of like Stone Mountain area and the suburban areas of Atlanta, the trail is basically coming that way as well. I love it, guys. Like I said, I do a lot of jogging. Love it. I get a good sweat in, put my Bluetooth speakers in, put my shorts on, my t-shirt on, and I'm off, guys. I'm off on the trail. Call my buddies up, Gabby, Tommy Boy, and Rachel. I'm like, those guys are my jogging partners in crime. They're like, hey, Mike, you want to go jogging? I'm like, let's do it, right? But on to other things, guys. Getting a little ahead of myself here with this jogging stuff. But in news, well, not too much stuff here. I see that Trump is back in the news. Trump sending out a cryptic 3-word message in a PAC email. What's this about, huh? Former President Donald Trump sends recipients of his email list a cryptic 3-word message earlier today without contents, raising questions about its meaning. And in the topic here, the 3-word message basically says bullies never fight, right? Well, is that true? That bullies never fight? Well, we know a lot about bullying in here in America. We've seen plenty of it, even in the coronavirus era, the COVID era. A lot of bullying going on. We've been seeing it from the far left. We've certainly seen it when President Trump was in office. Like, the man got bullied every day. From media, from politicians, from public figures. So, what does Trump mean by this cryptic 3-word message that bullies never fight? Well, let's go more into this article, guys, shall we? Trump wrote in his statement, sent via email, without people trying to understand what he's meaning, right? They tried to understand, but he wrote this email without explanation of what he meant by this. The message comes following New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's announcement that he will resign after a series of sexual harassment allegations were deemed credible in an investigation by New York Attorney General Letitia James. Trump, who is often eager to offer his opinions about similar political developments, has yet to comment on the governor's recognition that he resigned and is going to resign from office in 2 weeks, and has given no indication that the statement is in reference to Cuomo. A lot of people, a lot of sources are saying that it's in reference to Cuomo, but we don't know. Trump calls bipartisan infrastructure bill beginning of the new Green New Deal, right? We've seen that crap being played out by AOC earlier this year and parts of last year as well. This whole new Green New Deal, right? Trump has also recently sent a series of messages through his Save America PAC, at times bordering on confrontational, and expressing his views regarding politicians' actions and votes. What? The former president has been vocal about his anger over the recent infrastructure bill, which was passed with some Republican lawmakers' support, openly attacking Kentucky Republican Senator Mitch McConnell for not working with him on his own bill during his term in office. Trump writes here, and I quote, guys, "This is not an infrastructure bill. This is the beginning of a new Green New Deal. The bill I proposed, which Mitch McConnell couldn't do anything with, was pure infrastructure. I want what's best for America, not what's best for the Communist Democrat Party." Trump wrote this this past Sunday, saying this will be a big victory for the Democrats and will be used against the Republicans in upcoming elections. Schumer is using the threat of we can do it the hard way or do it the easy way and keep people in town. Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what's going on, guys. McConnell never did that on a real infrastructure bill. He never did, guys. Never did it. But, you know, hopefully the House will be much stronger on the Senate. Hopefully, right, guys? Never can tell. Never can tell with this form of government that's running the country. In the same statement, guys, Trump included congratulations to Tennessee Republican Senator Bill Hagerty, who took a victory lap this past Monday after delaying the Democrats' infrastructure bill. Trump wrote, "Congratulations to Senator Bill in remaining true to America first. Nobody will never or ever understand why Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell allowed this non-infrastructure bill to be passed. He has given up all of his leverage for the big whopper of a bill that will follow." Pretty much, guys. Pretty much. What's more to say about this, guys? This new infrastructure crap that's going on. I mean, is it more of the infrastructure or is it more of a Green New Deal? Well, according to former President Trump, Trump believes it's more of a Green New Deal. And they're proposing more of a new Green New Deal type of proposal. Are we going to get what President Biden is pretty much proposing on his own agendas? Hardly, but none. We won't. The Democrats, they're gonna tippy toe back and forth with this crap. They are. Trust me. They're working so hard. Literally, the Democrats, guys, they're working so hard to give Biden a victory. Now, they'll do anything for the big one, right? The big win. And that's including the biggest tax increases in the history of our country. Literally, the biggest tax increases in the history of our country. You're going to see taxes raised tremendously in this country. It's terrible. I got more here to talk about on the infrastructure hoax. You're not going to want to miss this, guys. I'll be right back after these words. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, got a new sponsor here on the show. Bungables Citronella wristbands. These things are great, guys, and they're very, very affordable. Some you can get for like 88 cents at stores such as Walmart. I've seen them at Target, just about everywhere. These little wristbands are great for going out on picnics, camping trips, jogging, just about everywhere. And they're also good for the kiddos out there too. If you got kids, pick a pack up, you know. Bungables Citronella wristbands. They have one size fits all. They're citronella scent, and they're easy to use. They're awesome, guys. Like I said, you got kids out there, pick a couple out for your kids. If you're one for hating mosquitoes and the bugs that are, especially in the summertime, pick a pack up and never be without. I use them from time to time when I'm jogging here in Atlanta, and they're great, guys. Bungables Citronella wristbands. Pick them up, available everywhere. Also, to check their website out, guys, at bungables.com. That's right, guys. Check them out online. They even have a Facebook page, Bungables. Check them out on Instagram, Bungables, guys. They're everywhere. They're super affordable. Like I said, very, very unique, and also good for summertime.
Republicans and Democrats have spoken about the need to invest more in our nation's infrastructure. We are a country the size of a continent. Every state has critical infrastructure demands. Bridges that need repair, railways that need maintenance, sewer systems that desperately need expansion and renovation. Over a month ago now, a bipartisan group of senators announced a deal with the White House on a framework for a bipartisan infrastructure bill. A breakthrough moment. Ever since, I have committed both publicly and privately to put that bill on the Senate floor. Unfortunately, last week our Republican colleagues prevented the Senate from taking a procedural step to begin the debate. But I want to be very clear. I am fully committed to passing a bipartisan infrastructure bill. As a majority leader, I have the ability to move to reconsider the vote to begin debate on that bill this week. Since senators are still finalizing the text of the agreement, senators should be on notice that the Senate may stay in session through the weekend in order to finish the bill. Let me say that again. Senators should be on notice that the Senate may stay in session through the weekend in order to finish the bipartisan infrastructure bill. And as I've said before, further delays may mean that the Senate will remain in session into the previously scheduled August recess. We have reached a critical moment. The bipartisan group of senators has had nearly 5 weeks of negotiations since they first announced an agreement with President Biden. It's time for everyone to get to yes and produce an outcome for the American people. I understand.
Michael Gardner, a host like no other. Unfiltered, unhinged, unscripted, raw.
Guys, this bill is a sham. It really is. And this infrastructure bill, if you want to call it, it basically is a gift to the Democrat Party. Compliments of Mitch McConnell. We've seen that former President Donald Trump issued a statement this past Saturday, this past weekend, slamming the infrastructure bill as a gift to the Democrat Party. compliments of Mitch McConnell. If Mitch McConnell was smart, guys, which we've seen no evidence of, he would use the debt ceiling card to negotiate a good infrastructure package. This is a 2,700-page bill that no one could have possibly read. No one. I doubt that anybody read any of those 2,700 pages of this bill. They would have to need to take speed reading courses. It's a gift to the Democrat Party and some rhinos through Mitch McConnell, who have no idea what they are doing. There is very little on infrastructure in all of those pages. Instead, they track your driving so they can tax you. That's Joe Biden's vision. And it's also Joe Biden's form of a gas tax, but far bigger, far higher, and mark my words, far worse. They want to track everywhere you go and watch everything you do. That's Joe Biden's infrastructure bill. And that's why I'm saying it's more of a Green New Deal package than an infrastructure bill. The only reason why they're using the infrastructure bill, the name of it, is so it can get passed through the Senate, which it has. It's a sham. And it's going to be used against the Republican Party in the upcoming elections of 2022 and 2024. This bill that was just passed through the Senate basically marks possibly a new re-election for Joe Biden. Pretty much. And anyone who endorsed this bill is foolish to even have favor of this deal. But the good news is that the progressive wing and the Democrat Party will lose all credibility with this approval. The real credibility should go to Donald Trump for proposing this bill. That's what should happen. But if it can't be killed in the Senate, guys, maybe it dies in the House. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats understand that this way. To get this horrendous $3.5 trillion package. Actually, $5 trillion. Green New Deal. Done in the House. McConnell is playing right into Nancy's hands, guys. Not to mention the fact Chuck Schumer is already going around saying that this is the big victory for the Democrats. Yeah, he's going around saying, oh, it's a big victory for the Democrats. Whether it's the House or Senate, guys, think twice before you approve this terrible deal. I guess it's too late now. It's already been passed through the Senate. Terrible. Do you want to know the Senate Republicans who appear to be supporting Joe Biden's infrastructure win? Here they are, folks. Senators Roy Blunt, Republican out of Missouri. Richard Burr, Republican out of North Carolina. Shelley Moore, Republican out of West Virginia. Bill Cassidy, Republican out of Louisiana. Lindsey Graham, shocking, South Carolina. Mitch McConnell, not so shocking, Kentucky. Oh, it goes on. Susan Collins, right? Maine. Mitt Romney, we all know he's a big rhino. Utah. What's more shocking is just one person on there. Lindsey Graham out of South Carolina. We've seen Lindsey Graham literally saying that this is a terrible thing to try to pass. But why would he go along with it? Is he part of the rhinos now? Well, sadly it's showing. Sadly it's showing that Lindsey Graham, would literally flip-flop back on the statement to begin with. But what else is new? What else is new? It's showing more Republicans turning rhinos with this Biden administration. Will we ever get a clear answer out of this administration? No. They'll do anything to pass these socialist, communist policies. Because we all know now that there is no Democrats and Republicans. There's Republicans, don't get me wrong. Okay, but let me re-narrate that. It's showing more of a socialist party than a Democrat party. Be right back, guys, because this is turning into a hoax of an infrastructure package.
Patriot Unfiltered.
Is this the biggest roofing innovation in over 100 years? A roofing product so advanced that it can lower your energy bills without solar panels or batteries. This previously unknown product will soon be available across the United States, thanks to a collaboration between a computer science graduate and the nation's leading residential roofing company. Right now, a nationwide field test of this revolutionary product is underway, and participants are needed. The goal is to evaluate this new metal roofing product on real homes. If you have an old roof, you may qualify for a complete roof replacement as part of this metal roofing field test. Click below and take just a few seconds to see if participants are needed in your zip code. But don't wait to sign up for this unique roof replacement opportunity. This field test is only being conducted for a short time, and many roof replacements have already been scheduled. Click below right now to learn more and to see if your zip code qualifies.
Patriot on Demand. Michael Gardner, a host like no other.
Well, Maria, I sure hope not. But clearly, if you look, the infrastructure bill that's going to come over the $1.2 trillion bill has a lot of momentum behind it coming out of the Senate. But now we're starting to see the details. And there are a lot of things in there that people are not going to like, not the least of which is the ability for the Secretary of Transportation to start the process of imposing a per mile car tax on every person who drives a car in America. They also have hundreds of billions of dollars of slush funds. The big problem here, Maria, that they're going to have is that it is directly linked to that tax and spend bill, the $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation bill that is now moving as well. Nancy Pelosi's made it clear the two bills are linked together. Reconciliation, in her mind, has to pass before she even brings up the infrastructure bill. So the two are one and the same, which means over $5 trillion of new spending with taxes to go with it that would kill middle-class jobs. Joe Biden can talk all he wants about people making less than $400,000 a year. Does anybody in America think that a bill written by Bernie Sanders is going to leave your pocketbook alone? Of course, every family is going to feel the impact of it, starting with the car tax. But think about the inflation. And Maria, you've talked about this a lot. All of the inflation that we're seeing today with $1.5 trillion spent in the COVID relief that had nothing to do with COVID relief. Imagine if you throw another $5 trillion of borrowed money that somebody's going to have to pay for. This bill doesn't pay for all of that. It just spent.
Yeah. That was Representative Congressman Steve Scalise of Louisiana earlier today on Mornings with Maria, Fox Business, basically saying that this infrastructure bill, guys, is going to kill the middle class. It's going to kill middle class jobs. So we're going to see that roll out, guys. We're going to see it roll out through the course of this bill. And it will kill the middle class jobs. And this crazy scenario that Biden is now proposing car tax, like what the fuck is that? Car tax? So you're telling me that every single time somebody gets in a car, we get in a car, we go on the turnpike, we go on to major toll roads, right? We pay that toll. The machines scan your license plate, whatever state. Usually they scan the license plate, right? You pay the toll. So when you pay that toll and it comes out of your account, through that toll program, there's going to be an additional tax on your bill. So say you get in your car and you drive through these toll locations, right? You get in the toll, you pay the toll, another couple miles down the road, you pay another toll. So it's like 5, maybe 10 miles down the road, you pay another toll. So they're going to tax you within those 5, 10 miles additionally, called car tax, which I think is the most craziest thing I have ever heard. And that's all part of this package with these Democrats' $3.5 trillion spending bill. Crazy stuff, guys. Crazy. The big problem here is that they are going to have directly linked to the tax bill, the $3.5 trillion budget bill that is now being moved. That's the real problem, guys. Pelosi has made it clear that these bills are linked together. Steve Scalise makes a good point. It's going to have a negative impact of the inflation. Negative impact. Folks, we are going to see the middle class pretty much take a big hit from this, literally. It's going to be a devastation to the middle class. And to be honest with you folks, this infrastructure bill, I'm calling it a Green New Deal. Literally, if you want to give a good victory lap to Biden, this thing probably just secured his re-election in 2024. God willing, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen, because, folks, there's a lot of things that are hidden in this bill that most Americans don't see. They don't see what it's really going to hurt the most. And I want to plug in here to show just what this means to the middle class, what it means to U.S. jobs, what it means to everything in this country. This bill has a lot of Green New Deal secrecy behind it. And you're going to hear it from no other than Texas Senator Ted Cruz. But first, I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back after these short words. You're not going to want to miss this, because Ted Cruz is going to narrate just exactly what is behind this monstrous nightmare of a bill. Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by our good friends at Harry's.com. What is Harry's.com? It is an awesome, affordable set of razors and other products as well too. Harry's has been around since 2013. Back in 2013, the makers of Harry's, which is a German company, realized that shaving could be easier, more affordable, and as well more enjoyable, right? So they decided to come up with a concept to create super quality razors for the everyday Joe. These razors are super affordable, they're super convenient, and they're easy on the wallet, guys. These are quality blades that are designed in a factory in the country of Germany. Where can you pick up these razors? Just about everywhere, guys. Walmart, Target, Walgreens. I've seen them at CVS. They're just about everywhere where you can buy razors at. If you can't go into a store or you'd like to shop on their website, they do have a website, guys. Harrys.com. Visit them at Harrys.com, and you can also explore their full range of products, including body wash, bar of soap, face wash, shaving cream, shaving gel, post-shave mist, face lotion, just to name a few. They even have anti-dandruff shampoo and conditioner, guys. Constantly coming out with new products, new set of brands to their brand. So visit Harrys.com and mention that you heard it on the Patriot Angle podcast.
Mr. President.
Senator from Texas.
Mr. President, I rise today to discuss the mammoth $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill before the Senate. On Sunday night, we finally got to see the 2,700-page infrastructure bill that we will be voting on sometime tomorrow or Saturday. And what we saw is that Democrats want to give billions of dollars to unelected bureaucrats in the Biden administration to spend however they please. This bill spends $21.5 billion to create a new office at the Department of Energy called the Office of Clean Energy Demonstrations, which would give President Biden's Secretary of Energy the power to use taxpayer dollars to invest in whatever green energy initiative she likes. Reminiscent of Solyndra, we can have the same bankruptcies at taxpayer expense. This bill spends $24 million in taxpayer dollars to preserve the water in San Francisco Bay. And the Long Island Sound would receive $106 million in taxpayer dollars. As the New York Times reported, quote, climate resiliency programs would receive their largest burst of government spending ever from this bill. And the Wall Street Journal rightly called it, quote, a major down payment on President Biden's Green New Deal. That's exactly what this bill is. Furthermore, this bill institutes a new tax on 42 chemicals that will raise prices for everyday consumers. Texans will bear the brunt of these higher prices because 40% of the manufacturing plants that this new tax will hit are in Texas alone. But this tax will also hurt Louisiana and Michigan and Pennsylvania and Ohio and other manufacturing states. Indeed, this provision will also likely make many of the raw materials used in infrastructure projects more expensive. I filed an amendment that would strike this harmful provision. Not only will manufacturing plants in Texas be hurt by this new tax, but for some of these plants, the new taxes will exceed profit margins, leading to plant closings and more manufacturing moving to China. In effect, the loss of these plants would result in lower tax revenue to the federal government, not more. Imports would rise, U.S. exports would fall, and production in the United States would fall as well. Ironically, this infrastructure bill also tries to grow more critical minerals manufacturing and personal protective equipment, or PPE, manufacturing in America. But it places a brand new tax on both of these things. PPE is made with many of the 42 chemicals this infrastructure bill now wants to tax. And 4 of these chemicals are on the Biden administration's own critical minerals list. The old saying was, if it moves, tax it, and if it stops moving, subsidize it. Well, this bill taxes the things that we're trying to get moving in the first place. This bill is also a liberal spending wish list. The fact of the matter is, this bill spends too much money and it's not paid for. We're told that this bill would in part be paid for with $205 billion in repurposed COVID relief funds. But when the bill text was released, magically those funds weren't there. It became apparent instead only about $50 billion in COVID funds was being used to help pay for this bill. Some have claimed that the bill is paid for, but by any measure, the pay-fors are quite simply gimmicks. This is a bait and switch, and the bill is not paid for like we were promised. At a time when we spent trillions of dollars already to combat a deadly pandemic, at a time when we're seeing rising inflation across the country, we can't responsibly be spending yet another $1 trillion.
Yeah, we can't spend this, guys. We cannot continue to put more debt into this country. And this administration This Biden administration doesn't seem to give two shits about our national debt, which is climbing literally every day at historic highs. This bill, folks, is nothing but a liberal dream. And it's about to come true. Because what America doesn't seem to understand, and people that are actually in favor of this, are literally blind. Literally blind. Because when you get down in that car and you drive down the damn highway, you're going to be taxed of the miles that you drive. This will not promote any goodness behind it. It is a nightmare to the American patriot and conservative. This bill will cause nothing but mayhem and destruction to the middle class. This bill will cause chaos to manufacturing jobs in a lot of key states, such as Ohio, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Texas, and others. The production will take a hit. Folks, how the hell did this pass? How the hell does people see goodness behind this? And how the hell does people see goodness behind this administration? God willing, the 2022 midterms and the general election gets turned around, because we need to. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to today's show, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.